Well, I've got the tire and wheel out of our way because there's one important test we need to do now that we have the tank down. In order to lower the tank, I had to unplug the connector, but what I want to do is check for voltage at the connector, then want to plug it into the fuel pump and check the voltage again. What I'm looking for is any drop in the voltage to the fuel pump. So the first thing to do, I've got my connector. I want to go ahead and probe the power lead coming in, and then touch a good ground and see where our voltage reading is. Now remember, because the pump's only going to run for a few seconds and then power itself back off, so we have just a couple of seconds to check our voltage. So we may have to do it more than once to get an accurate reading. I'm going to have an assistant go ahead and turn the key on for me. Okay, I'm not getting any reading at all on my meter. Part of the problem is our frame is so rusty that we're not getting a good connection on our ground lead. What I'm going to do, this has got a bolt-on trailer hitch. I'm going to use one of the bolts that mount the hitch, hook a jumper wire to that, attach the jumper wire to my ground lead, and then we'll check the voltage. Something else too, you want to refer to the manual. I have 4 wires going to my connector to properly identify which wire you're looking for. In our case, it'd be the gray wire is the power to the fuel pump. I'm going to go ahead and probe the connector. Let's turn the key back on and check our voltage. Yeah, the voltage looks good. What we're looking for here is 1/2 of a volt or less voltage drop from the battery to this connector right here, and we're good. The next thing I want to do, I've checked the power side or the voltage side going to the fuel pump. I want to check the ground side, which is just as important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave my ground connected to the connection point I have back at the hitch, and I want to back probe the ground wire, which is the black wire right next to the gray, and see if there's any voltage drop. What I'm looking for here is 0.5 volt maximum, preferably less, as close to 0 as I can possibly get. And in our case here, we are 0, so we have a good ground. What I want to do now, I've checked everything unloaded, and I want to put a load on the system, and how I'm going to do that is basically just plug it back into the tank unit, and then I'm going to back probe those terminals. Okay, the tank unit's reconnected. The next thing I want to do now is go ahead and check both of the circuits, the ground and also the power lead to the pump under a load. Well, keep in mind we have no fuel lines on our tank now, so what we want to do, take a piece of fuel hose in our gas can and go ahead and hook the hose to the outlet, the pressure side of our sending unit, right there. Put the hose into our can. Now with that all set, what I'm going to do is go ahead and back probe the power going to the pump, which would be our gray wire. And again, what we're looking for is 0.5 volt or less voltage drop from the battery voltage. So I'm all set right now. Okay, go ahead and cycle the key on. Okay, now, yeah, as you can see, we're right in range. Well, now we want to go ahead and check our ground circuit. The same thing, you want 0.5 volt or less. So what I want to do is back probe the black wire right next to the gray wire, which is our ground for our pump, and watch the meter. Okay, go ahead and cycle the key on again. Okay, as you can see, we have no voltage drop at all on our ground side. So basically what we've got a problem inside this tank. What we want to do is go ahead and pull the tank out, pull the unit out, and take a good look at that fuel pump. As with any job, to do it right, you'll need the right tools. The nice thing is that jobs today don't require a large, expensive assortment. Basic hand tools are generally all you'll need. The first things you'll need are a socket set, brake line wrench, and a repair manual for your specific vehicle. In case where a specialty tool is required, be sure to check with AutoZone's Loan a Tool program. They have many specialty tools that can help you complete your job a lot quicker and easier.
Be cautious when working under the hood. If the engine has been running, components will be extremely hot, so be careful what you touch. When working around a running engine, it is important to be alert and never wear loose clothing or a necktie that can get tangled in belts, pulleys, or the fan. When lifting a vehicle, never work under it until it has been secured with wheel blocks and securely positioned on jack stands. A hydraulic jack alone is never enough. Be cautious when working with oils and chemicals. Many are damaging to the groundwater environment and toxic to people and animals. Never drain or pour chemicals into the ground or sewer systems. Local municipalities and counties offer resources for proper disposal. And always, remember to wear your safety glasses.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Get the entire DVD for this repair and all other procedures covered in the Complete Car Care series at your local AutoZone store.